Welcome back, genius. Did you know stress is an engineering term? It has something to do with pressure. And pressure is good, right? It's the thing that creates diamonds out of dirt. But being under pressure and feeling a lot of stress on a daily basis, every day, for an extended period of time, feels nothing like this. Stress sucks. It's awful AF. It causes migraines. It can cause heart problems. It can cause all types of health issues. And you know what? When you're under stress, you're not usually acting in your best life. When you're under stress, you're not operating the way that you would normally. No matter how many of us say that we work well under pressure. The fact is that when you're under stress, it's counterproductive. Unless you figure out how to manage your stress. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how I managed to turn my stress into motivation. I do that in 7 different steps. I take myself through this process every single time I feel stressed out. So if you would like to know how I turn my stress into motivation to run my small business, subscribe and keep watching. If you've been popping in and out, you may or may not know that I run a boutique marketing firm in Miami, Florida. We focus a lot on digital marketing and how to be able to convert online communities. Now, running a small business is stressful, but the other thing that I'm very interested in is my health, and I'm always on some type of diet kick thing. So I only bring that up to say that there's different stresses for different people. For me, running a business is a great stress. It's a challenge that I love every day. But trying to manage my diet is a stress that kicks my ass all the time. So you have stresses and I have stresses, but our stresses are not the same. So these are the things that I use to be able to run through anytime I find a stressful moment. So this will apply personally if something's stressing you out, or in your business if something is stressing you out. All right, so let's jump right into it, right? The first thing is it's okay to acknowledge that you're under stress. I think a lot of us like to pretend like we're not stressed out, and that's not helpful. You need to acknowledge that you're under stress so that you can mentally engage yourself and to activate different coping mechanisms consciously to be able to manage your stress. So the first thing that I do is simply acknowledge that I'm under stress. The second thing that I do, once I've acknowledged that I am under stress, is simply to look at the issue and decide, is this something that needs to be solved right now, today? Most of the things that stress any of us out, you and me, they don't really matter right now. They're not something that has to be solved right in this moment. So if it's look at it and decide, is this something that needs to be managed right now? Can I handle this next week, next month, in an hour? Can I give myself time at the end of the day to be able to look back at this and manage it then? The next thing I do, and this is kind of just to shock my mind, is to think, has anyone in mankind ever solved this problem before me? Has anyone else had this issue and been able to find a solution? I mean, you can do this by Googling. You may have by finding this video. You can read. You can find other solutions. So decide that you don't have to be the innovator in this stressful moment. You can look to other people to see how they manage this ordeal and get through it using the same techniques that they used. The next thing I try and do is create safe places. Now, I mentioned that I live in South Florida. I live in Miami to be specific, and I love this city. I live in Miami because it is a safe place for me. It's a beautiful city. There's great sunlight. There's great weather, there's beaches, there's lots of things to do. It's very easy to get away. I mean, where I live is where other people vacation. So create safe places for yourself. My entire city is a safe place, but also certain places of my home, my office, those are safe places for me as well, to be able to clear my mind and to be able to focus truly on that stressful item. Now, for you, that might be an area in your office. It might be an area in your home. So it might even be the Starbucks down the street. find your safe place to be able to focus on your stressful items and be able to work your way through it. It'll be a lot more, it's very helpful to be in a safe place instead of trying to manage something that's already stressful in an actual stressful environment. This technique is definitely not my own. I don't know who created it, but I know Steve Jobs is very, very, very famous for it, and that is minimizing the number of decisions that you have to make every day. We can look at Mark Zuckerberg, who kind of has a uniform, and Steve, who wore his turtleneck and jeans every day. And the idea is that the mind can only make so many decisions in a day. So if that's the case, you want to save your brain power literally for the big issues, the big challenges in the day. So you can do this by having a uniform, creating one for yourself so that you're always wearing the same thing, or you can create routines for yourself, which is what I do. I wake up really early in the morning. I try and have time for myself so that I don't ever feel like I've been overwhelmed or that I've given a lot of myself during the day to other people. I always create a space in time for myself. So that's my personal routine. You can also create a routine for yourself that could help you to manage your stress. I mentioned to you that you don't have to solve all of your stressful items in one moment, in one day. And the reason why I say that is because I've taken the step to get organized. I really do look at my business as a whole from a bird's eye view, and my personal life from a bird's eye view in the course of a year. I decide what I want to do in a year. I do that once a year, and then I do it quarterly, and then I do that monthly, all the time. And I've actually been doing that, I think, since middle school. It's been a really long time since I've had that habit. So when you get organized, you're able to decide where and when you're going to spend your energy, and if you do actually have time to do something later on. And you'd be surprised, the more organized you get, the more time it feels like you have. But we all have the same 24 hours as Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? You can decide to plan things out, and my company actually created the Daily Flourish, which is a project planner where you can plan out any given project and manage it through time. So we always know exactly when we need something. You may walk through the store and think, wow, these stores always have their commercials, the material, the PR, the press, everything's together for back to school, for springing forward, for summer sales, for holiday sales. It's because they plan that stuff. So if you want to be able to see that same kind of impact in your small business, in your real estate firm, you have to be able to get organized, and it will help you to not feel stressed out about prospecting and about bringing new business into your company. The last thing that I do, and I really put this to work last year, and I've seen such a big change in myself, and personally and professionally, is simply to ask for help. When you've gone through all these steps and you feel like, you know what, I don't have the solutions, I wasn't able to find the solution somewhere when I Googled it or read about it, so just simply find the person. Turn to the person next to you and ask for help. You'd be surprised what people can offer you. And a big part of that is not necessarily them being able to give you the exact answer. Sometimes it's important to get a perspective on the issue at hand, because a lot of the things that stress us out and why different things stress things out for different people is the perspective. How we see that problem has a lot to do with how we feel about it. In my business, I work with a lot of high net worth individuals, people who are under a lot of stress. They have a lot of things on their shoulders. They're responsible for a lot of things, and they're always kind of operating at a very high frequency. So they depend on me to stay calm and to be able to work through a lot of different challenges on a daily basis. And I do have a pretty calm demeanor naturally, but it's not so natural because I really plan and organize, and that's why I don't get too stressed out, because I try and keep a perspective about every single thing that I'm responsible for as a business owner and to my clients. Those are my 7 steps for being able to manage my stress. I hope that you found that useful. And one other little bonus item is if you've gone through all of those 7 steps and you do not feel de-stressed, you don't feel less stressed out, then get up and move. Sometimes you have to actually trick your entire body into feeling better. And you can do that by releasing natural endorphins in your body by simply moving around. Get up and dance, take a walk, stretch, breathe. You can help yourself to work through the stress. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that just taking this time away from whatever it is that's bothering you has helped you just a little bit to work through that stressful moment. So appearing to be calm is not the same as actually being calm. So I really hope that these 7 steps help you. And if you have some input about these 7 steps and being able to offer your solution to managing stress, please write it in the comments, because I'm sure somebody else wants to hear what you have to say, and maybe that'll be the solution that they are looking for. So thank you so much for watching this video. Go forth and flourish.